Peace. It's the Conscious one. And you already see what the title of the video is. Miseducation of the Negro. Now, I initially tried to shoot this video a couple weeks ago when my live stream was hacked. So, since they ain't update my live stream, allow me to do no live stream, it's going on almost 3 weeks. They haven't even sent me an email or nothing in regards to it. But you know what? I don't expect too much from this shit because it's not my platform. It is my platform, but it's not my platform. So at this point in time, any of the educational or information that I'm able to get out that can at least help you understand, the society and the economical enslavement of a lot of people. I don't know. I don't even know where to start with this story. But all right, let's start with this, right? Why I chose to call this the Miseducation of the Negro, right? Because in 2018, things just flipped. In 20 years, things flipped. You understand what I'm saying? In 2000, I remember in 98 how things was and how things are now. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to a lot of the social woes and a lot of things that's going on, right? So understand this, right? Even if you educated, you are still miseducated in certain areas. Alright, so you can be educated. It's only who you was educated by. If you're not a primary researcher, then you can't do research that kind of condemns a lot of your pros. When I say condemns a lot of your pros, they're opposed of what you're pro. You understand what I'm saying? So now let's think of it like this, right? Just like immigration, for example. Right now, I know a lot of people. I come on here and let me just put this out. This is always my disclaimer, right? When it comes to immigration, right? You have a lot of immigrants that's good people. A lot of them, beautiful fucking people, man. Whether they African, whether they what we call Latinos or Hispanics, whether they Indian or Asian people, right? But when it comes down to some of their views about how they feel about the American Aborigines, a lot of the views is just it's propagandized, right? So now, what I do is this: I take that same propaganda and put it back to them, right? Because I'm like, a lot of people that come in from other countries, they are so naive, bro. And then think of it like this, right? And think of this, Aborigines. If you was to get up, move to another country because of economical advances, right? You move to a country where it's economical advances. Now, in this country, you're given education, you're given benefits, you're given almost everything that you don't get in your country, right? You come here and you see people who've been here the longest. Your first mind state is to look down on the people because you see how fast in society you done moved up. And you saying, well, damn, I done moved up so fast, so how are they not able to do this or whatever? But then never researching or never taking the proper steps to educate yourself to that question that you asked. You let the other people answer the question for you. By them showing you, black people have more children, unfathered homes, black people on drugs, black people uneducated, black people on welfare, black people murder each other, and all these other negative stereotypes that come into us, right? Now let's put that on one side, right? Think of it like this, all right? I never hear none of these immigrants talk about the good things that black people have done for them. They only talk about the bad things. They never talk about the fact that Brown versus Board is the reason why a lot of them are even accepted in a lot of these schools. The 1965 the 1965 Immigration Act or whatever. Prior to 1965, we know, according to the census, that wasn't a lot of these people here. You understand what I'm saying? Well, a lot of these people here before the 1960s. I mean, no, let's say if it was done in 1965, figure a lot of people didn't come here till say the 70s, 80s, all right, 90s, 2000s, all right. So now you get people that come here from other countries. They are already under the spell from the propaganda that's painted about us, about how all we like to do is have babies and all these other negative stereotypes, right? Now just think of this, right? If you was to go to another person's country, imagine how this and how imagine, listen, think about it. When I go to, I've been to Mexico, all right? Mexico was kind of cool in a sense. But you know what I'm saying? When you go to other, that's the only place I've been. I've been to Mexico and I've been to DR. I've been to DR actually 3 times. So now check this out, right? So when you go to a lot of these countries, right, the people in the country, they not the same as the people over here. And we already know why, because they come here and they influenced by other cultures. But nonetheless, though, when you get these people that come here, these people come here like they don't have this shit back in their country. You understand what I'm saying? And most of their situations are way worse than anything that we doing. But they look at, okay, because black people got so much opportunity, and you have an opportunity to possibly do anything you want to do here or whatever. Though, but it's all under the constructs of what we call the systematic racism. I ain't gonna call it white supremacy. I'm gonna just call it racism. You understand what I'm saying? They only gonna allow you to go but so far. And even if you can go but so far, you cannot voice or say anything about your people. And this is like what held people like in the 1900s, like, you know, even W.B. Du Bois, right? A lot of people talk about W.B. Du Bois, right? I mean, and I do too. He was a coon boule, right? But at the end, he recognized, like, yo, he moved to Ghana because he said, you know what? Fuck this shit. These motherfuckers is racist. But he already then backstabbed Marcus Garvey. But which I don't know. I don't know. Would it help us to go back to Africa at that point in time? Would it help us? I mean, we'd be probably in the same situation we is in that economic. Okay, yeah, they wasn't lynching us over there in Ghana, but at the economics and it's still systematic racism over there, or not Ghana or Liberia or any one of them West African countries. All right, so now boom. So let's put it like this. So to get people that come here, right? I seen an Indian mayor. How? Who the fuck will vote for an Indian? I'm not voting for no mother. I'm not voting for no immigrant to be no leader of nothing. Why would I vote for an immigrant to be a leader of a state that just got here just because he can talk good English and he wear a business suit and he conform with everything that these crackers tell him to do? And that's the thing. Think of it like this. Most of these motherfuckers that come here, all they do is conform to everything these white people do. If you are a yes man, you will go very far in this world. You will go very far in this world if you are a motherfucking yes man. If you don't have no opinions, or if you just go along with everybody, and then a lot of these motherfuckers, they know that a lot of this shit they do is evil, but they try to mask it. They try to mask it just by they having their self-centered reasons for them being here or whatever. They will mask the racism that's going on here just for the fact that they are traded for economics. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, so like it has like at some point in time. Hold on for a second. And note what I said. When I say Indian, I mean from India, East India. The motherfuckers that own the 7-Elevens and the Popeyes and the all these businesses. You understand what I'm saying? See, if you don't have the history of being mistreated by people, you're going to do pretty well, and you're going to be able to overlook a lot of the evil shit that they do just for your own personal benefit to be in this country. And this is what you really got here. You got a bunch of people who come from other countries that come here and All they can see is money. That's all they see. All they see is money and opportunity. While all we see is racism and racism and more racism. And everything is just not racism. But a lot of stuff, you ask yourself these questions like, damn, well, why is that? Because that's racism. You understand what I'm saying? And it's not even to the point to where you see how people come here, even Africans, right? I was listening to Yvette Carnell show a couple of days ago. And you had people calling in, and there was this one lady, one individual. She was talking about how she was in a car. One of them was Nigerian, and her father was in the car. And then, like, the Nigerian was sitting there just bashing African Americans, right? Now, listen. Listen, the only way that should be happening is if an African bashing you, if he's on a Skype with you in his country. No African in this motherfucking country should be fucking talking anything about any motherfucking, any problems that African American got. They're not gonna fucking help them. And that's them the people you should just cut off because they know worse than a white man. So why they know worse than a white man. If they can't come here and properly study and say, well, damn, hold up. Why do they treat me different because I'm an African than they treat the African Americans? Why? Let's go back in history. Let's go back in the 1900s. All right, well, they was wearing suits and ties. They was trying to get land. They was educated. Okay, all right, so when we speed up, Jim Crow, they was hanging them. They was doing all this stuff. So, all right, what was the reason why they was hanging? Was they hanging them because these people was wilding or they was doing all this crazy stuff? No. They just wanted equal rights and opportunity. And most people had more than a lot of these Europeans. So these Europeans, when they come here, they gang up on you. They come in your town and burn. The same shit going on right now, man. But the government won't step in and do nothing. It's like now you got these fucking bombers. I don't even want to talk about that shit because I didn't listen. I'm so far up under the curtain to where I already know a lot of these things are guided by people who work in a lot of these bureaucratic societies, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you can't prove it, but you could pretty much speculate it, man. Because if the FBI came out and said that a lot of these white supremacist groups have infiltrated the police force, they've been infiltrated the police force. Half the motherfuckers with hoods on was part of the fucking politics. They was the politicians. And this is facts. We can easily pull up people that's in Senate right now that still one of them they said was I believe Clinton mentor. He was supposed to be a grand cyclops of the KKK. Now, how could you be in Senate or the KKK is a very respectable organization. As long as they don't do nothing to whites, we good with them. But they are allowed to violate any other racial groups. But they all doing this shit in the name of white supremacy. Straight up. And that's the fucking problem what people don't understand. So now let's get back to you. Right, so look. So we come here, we see a black face. We be like, damn, all right, so I don't know, let me say, all right, let's say Naomi. Let's role play, all right? Let's role play. So let's say Naomi is a 10-year immigrant from, let's say Nigeria, okay? And she's been here 10 years. And in 10 years, she's able to get her degree. She's a doctor. She lives in she lives in a European neighborhood. And she's married with her husband and 2 kids, okay? Naomi don't understand racism. Because the same racism that we face is the same racism that allowed Naomi to come over here and get that opportunity in which she couldn't get over there in her country, all right? So now, what's wrong with the whole picture with Naomi, okay? Naomi sits and she talks about so-called black people and call them a cocktie, say that, oh, they kill each other and they do all that. But when we go to Naomi country, they're worse than us. They worse than us. But now, how did Naomi get so bougie within the last 10 years? You understand? Because she been fed the systematic information that programs a lot of these people. You understand what I'm saying? That programs a lot of these people. So, she been around the people to program her, and they've been treating her good. See, Naomi, look, we don't treat black people bad. No, we don't treat black people bad. That's only bad black people. we treat people of color good. We only treat the ones that don't conform with us bad. Okay, but if you're willing to sit here and be the butt of white jokes, because it ain't coming. I don't care what kind of education you got. They're gonna sit there. And most people sit there and say, well, damn, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna take this until you know what I'm saying, until I get what I got. But then they still have to take it because they're still here. And they still got that contract that going out, that basically telling them that they're going to, you know what I'm saying, they're going to basically conform with everything that's being said. And then when it comes to when we need you to talk about the black people, the black Aborigines, we're gonna call upon you. You're gonna need to say something. You know what I'm saying, you're gonna need to say something against them. And this is what happens all day, every day. Okay, now, like I said, my disclaimer is not all Africans are like that. A lot of Africans are here just for a better life, though. But think of this, man. And this is my main function. My main function is this. Black Americans, we look at Africans like, oh shit, they got all this culture. If we would have just stayed in Africa, life would have been so much better for us. If we would have just stayed over there, if we was never brought over here, life would have been so much better. If your ass would have stayed over in Africa in 2000, you might have been one of the Africans that migrated over here. So who knows? You understand what I'm saying? Because what causes a person who has a culture and have so much culture? Oh, I'm Igbo. I'm from this tribe. So if you're from this tribe, why the fuck did you come here? Oh, I came here for education. But you're supposed to be so educated naturally. So you're not educated unless the white man teaches you. And this is what all these motherfuckers is. If I go to India, which is that's a real shithole country. You understand what I'm saying? If I go to India, these people in India, like, you know, you have people there that, you know what I'm saying, that has that, that have a lot of spiritual practices that we study, like yoga and all this other stuff. You're gonna meet different people there. But for the most part, if you look in India, it's a shithole country. They didn't. It's nothing there to exploit. You understand what they got? Some spices, turmeric, and all these. Come on, that shit, okay. But at the end of the day, what? Like, I mean, it's just like I said, it's just a lot when you think about this. All right, but boom, let's go back to it. Right. So, all right. So now that's an example of African, right? Now we're gonna say people gonna say time to this one, man. You always be on because I have to be. Because I see the phoniness. You can easily come here. You don't have the history we have in this country. So it's easier for you to come here, climb up the ladder. But think of it like this. And they still get disrespected upon climbing up the ladder, right? But just imagine the disrespect that our ancestors had to endure. Real disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Way worse than any shit that somebody might say a sarcastic comment, which they most of the time they don't really understand it. You don't even understand the comment because they just start laughing with them. Like, they be joking on them. They'll be laughing. I've seen this shit. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? But they sit here and tell you that you haven't. You know what I'm saying? All you want to do is you don't want to do nothing. But even though most of these black universities were set up by Rockefeller and a lot of these European societies trust and believe that. Howard University, all these Spelman, all these motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, was set up by the Europeans. And it was financed by Europeans. You understand what I'm saying? So they're going to it's a black face, but it's a black face with a white attitude. Or it's a black face that's like, you know what I'm saying, a bougie motherfucker. It ain't a mixture of Malcolm X, the educated him dealing with economic. It's a straight yes sir man. And them are always the ones who benefit and move up in the systematic racism environment in which we have. All right, them are always the ones that move up. If you speak out against anything, you're gonna be ostracized, and you know what I'm saying. You're gonna be basically banished from other people, or they're gonna keep on ostracizing you till you either quit or you just conform to what they tell you to do. You know what I'm saying? It's only two ways. So that's what I got to say about that. But our miseducation is every black person we see that come here, we like, oh shit, such and such, he just got here, oh shit. We don't even know. We don't even know no better. And that's why I tell, man, Aborigines, like, I'm just saying, man, you look at this yourself, man. You have, and then half of us are black. Think of this, right? How all the black people with all the money got white men? How? How? Because them are the only places you put yourself around to be around. Now, I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. Now, you got opportunity to choose upon the women you date and choose upon the women you with. See, for most of us as black, as Aborigines, this is what we supposed to be doing, all right? If you got money, right, you supposed to find, you ain't gotta find nobody with money. And this is the shit these stupid niggas push out here. These stupid niggas push out here, oh, find somebody who's equal to you. No, you as a person who was able to pull yourself up, you should find somebody else that's not able to pull themselves up and fucking help them. You understand what I'm saying? If it doesn't work with that person, then you should already know what is your limits and what is your levels that you're gonna work with this person, okay? If the person don't conform, then you gotta keep it moving. Or if the person don't even conform into where he can get some type of common ground. But a lot of times when you're dealing with a lot of these educational women, they're straight conforming to the system. And I'm not, like I said, I don't have a problem with economics. I don't have a problem with Federal Reserve notes or finding some type of resources, but you have to understand something, right? And this is no shot to the ladies, because I'm gonna get on the niggas too, right? In 2018, you got women with money, with resources, right? You got women with resources. A lot of these black women got college degrees, which they make way more money than black men. They work half as hard as black men, and black men gotta work twice as hard to get the money that they get. So if a black man is making $90,000 a year, he trusts and believe he got two jobs. You understand what I'm saying? If a black woman making $90,000 a year, trust and believe most of that stuff ain't nothing but data entry. It ain't no physical tough labor. It ain't nothing. It's just basically data entry, and just follow your guidelines, follow your work guidelines, and you'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, a man have to work twice hard. And I'm not trying to cause no division between anybody, so please do not come with the this is just my opinion. If my opinion does not fit what you believe, then we just gotta agree to disagree, man. I'm not up for debate. I'm not trying to debate. Last week, 2 weeks ago, somebody came on my page and they was like, because I got a video of bashing women. Okay, I got 2 videos bashing women. So if you haven't seen them and you like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not telling you to check them out because some people have problems with them or whatever. But I wasn't disrespecting. I would never disrespect no black woman. But there's a lot of black women that's sorry as hell, just like a lot of these black men sorry as fucking hell. We know it. The system created it. But if you keep on babying them, how the fuck they gonna get help? If you don't speak out against it and let them know what's wrong, how you gonna get help? It's just like your child. If your child keep doing something wrong, what you gonna say? All right, well, he only do that because of this. When you gonna correct them and teach them the right thing and say, all right, well, nah, you know what? This is not right. This is the way it's supposed to be, and we need to try to keep this consistent with this. All right. Now, as far as a lot of this, like I said, you have a lot of black women who got a lot of good jobs, and they single. Now, okay, sometimes the single might be a choice or whatever though, but nobody else is really single. I don't see too many of these Indian people. They got wives. They married. The ones I see, a lot of these Hispanics and Latinos, they're married. A lot of these white people, they're married, with the exception to the feminists that might be lesbians. They married to another woman. But for the most part, they have their self a spouse. Okay? But we're the only people who say, oh, I don't need a spouse. Or when you do have a man, okay, you have a man that have a job that provides for you. But because he might fall short, then he's less than a man. Or he's less than a man because he fell short. And this is the problem when it comes to materialistic things. A lot of women be pushing that shit the most. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these holidays, if a brother don't want to celebrate the holiday, oh man, this nigga's cheap. Oh, he don't want to give me nothing for the Lupercalia, or AKA Valentine's Day. You know what I'm saying? Or he don't want to celebrate Christmas. This nigga cheap as hell. And this is what you get. Instead of saying, well, damn, you know what? This guy, he dropped a spill on me and basically told me, what the fuck do loving somebody got to something to do with giving you something materialistic? What the fuck that got to do with me buying you something materialistic? Is it the fact that I wasted my energy to achieve, because I had to push my energy so I can obtain some type of federal or some type of something to trade. All right, so I had to basically go out there and slave for this paper to go buy you some motherfucking candy and go buy you a fucking rabbit or go buy you a teddy bear, and that made you feel better as opposed to me just coming up and we going, you know, like I said, I don't celebrate the holiday. I don't do the holiday thing, and I don't conform to nobody. I ain't trying to say, well, I'm gonna do this for now. I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't care if the woman. I don't care how much I'm into the woman. I don't care how pretty the woman is. I do not give a fuck. I don't celebrate no Valentine's Day. I know what it's for. If the person that I'm with don't know what it's about, and I try to explain it to them, and they not trying to hear it up, and they not trying to hear it or whatever, then I'm gonna keep it moving because I ain't got time. Like I said, you get a lot of these women who they want you to conform. You have to conform with what they tell you. Basically, oh, you need to go back to school. Everything has to be perfect for them. You understand? And this is what you see. A lot of these business women, a lot of these women who got their head on their shoulders, they push you to the point to where you cannot have no views. You have to go to the movies. You have to, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to, you have to down that African shit, you know, and a lot of them ain't even African-centered themselves. So you can't even say a lot of them, all right. You know, most of the African-centered people come around as some form of conscience, right? But the conscience stops when you get Africans that come here that's not conscious. That's when the gig is up. Because you're running around here with your kente cloths on, with your beads and shit, and then Africans that come here don't even do that. The Africans that come here, they don't want a European starter kit. You understand what I'm saying? And then some of their kids throw on a Aborigine American starter kit, which the Jordans, the jeans, and all that other stuff. They embrace the culture, but their parents try to stay away from the culture. Their parents try to come here, oh, well, you know, that's not the way Nigerians, or that's not the way Africans do things. So how you tell me the way Africans do things? Because, like I said, you have countries over there where you have African billionaires. Why is that money not floating on, or that money not being evenly spread? If you got 12 or 13 cards, it's no one in the country should be starving. You understand what I'm saying? You got billionaires. They're not trying to build nothing in Africa. They're not trying to fertile the soil or whatever. They could have the biggest farm and garden over there to feed everybody. Why is it not being done? Why is it not being done? Because you got a nigga like Akon over there getting likes and shit, which is something good. But maybe them Africans never wanted no fucking. Maybe they don't care about no likes. Maybe they get used to living the way they living. You understand what I'm saying? But you know, like I said, man, that's just my opinion, how I think about things or whatever. But I think this is the miseducation of a lot of us, man, because there's a lot of things in our backyard that's not correct, that we can't correct because people don't want to speak on things. Because if you speak on something, you might hurt somebody's feeling, and then you know what I'm saying, oh, you don't want to speak on that, but they can speak openly about you anytime they feel like. They can sit there, oh, Black Americans don't want to do nothing. You just want to sit around or whatever. But you wasn't here when they was hanging us from trees. You wasn't here when they was sicking dogs on you. You wasn't here when they put crack cocaine in your community. Oh, they put crack cocaine in you. You didn't have to fucking use it. You didn't have to do this or whatever. Listen, okay. The same way y'all chopping people up in your country and you doing all this. Like I said, they could easily throw an economical hitman in one of them countries in Africa and have a civil uproar, and they will kill down there 100,000 motherfuckers or even worse. So don't lose me with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, people come here just for fucking money. They don't come here for no They come here for money. That's it. That's the only reason why people come here. Don't nobody come here to be part of nothing. They come here for just straight money and what resources they can get. Because this everything in life and everything dealing with this world is about resources. I don't care if it's only an apple. I don't care if it's only water. It is a resource that your body craves and yearns for. You understand what I'm saying? Now, outside of the resources, there's resources that's really not needed that people strive to get, which is, I was one of them. 20, 40 pairs of sneakers and all this clown shit. Never again. You know what I'm saying? Never again. Never again would I waste my energy on putting clothes on my body. You know what I'm saying? Like my man said, he said the Tontonist man was so free, he didn't have to wear shoes. You know what I'm saying? They say now the European will wear shoes until he walk out of them. While we would have 5 or 6 pairs of shoes and shit just to have it. You know what I'm saying? Gotta be fresh, gotta be fly to go, gotta be fresh to go to school with fly sneakers, remember? So, like I said, that's just some wolves, man. I know people probably gonna disagree with me about the woman thing, but there's a lot of niggas out here that want to do right, man, but they just need help. And there's a lot of niggas out here that ain't shit. There's a lot of niggas out here that just all they want to do is, you know what I'm saying, walk around these young boys. And think of it like this. I'm gonna get back to this. Hold up. All right, so my thing is this, right? You got a lot of these young niggas out here that was raised by these women, right? Now, I'm not saying women are not, I'm not saying that they're not capable of raising a man, okay? Depending on what kind of household they come from. Is this a woman that had the values of her grandfather and her father and her mother? Okay, then she's good. But if this is a woman that only had the values of women, and so how you want to raise a man? Now, like I said, but you have other aspects to that because some of the women in the house might have been raised with men in the house, so they still know how they picked up certain qualities from men that they was around. But I never understood this, right? How you got niggas who marry women, who sit there and have a lot of children with them, and then just get up and leave. Once you got more than 2 children with a woman, I'm not saying all cases, but I'm saying in most cases, once you already done put yourself out there to take care of a woman and do all that, you might as well just stick it out until the children get big. You know what I'm saying? There's nowhere in the world you should be leaving them or whatever. You should be able to tolerate whatever this woman's putting out there if you had 3 children with her. Because after one child, you pretty much figure out because a lot of hormones are brought to the surface once you have one child. Once you have one child, you start seeing was it not? It will be a good choice to have another child with that woman. You understand what I'm saying? And this is from me. I have a couple of children, but you will automatically see. Okay, I got one child or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Is she a good mother? Can I have another child with her? Is she stable? Do she have the patience? It ain't so much of financial. It's other things that surrounded about the finances. It's things such as quality and morals. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna put your child first, or you're gonna put yourself first. You understand what I'm saying? You're gonna sit there and have the time to read and teach his children so this child can become a productive member of society if that's what you're striving for. Or you're going to teach this child his history or it's a lot of things that go into it though. But my thing is I never understood why do these niggas leave these women and have all these children. And like I said, it doesn't happen a lot. Sometimes a lot of times, man, it just be disagreements, man, and it be a lot of times people, all right, let's put it like this, right? Let's say if a year ago, you had an argument with a female, right? Let's say if a year ago you asked this female to do something for you. All right, now what you asked them to do wasn't nothing like you didn't ask them to have a foursome with three midgets or no dumb shit. All you did was ask this person, can you just can you wipe the sink off after you use the bathroom? I mean, like, please, because I grew up like that. And I hate to see the sink with water on it. You know what I'm saying? And then you try to coexist with that person by telling them certain things that you know what I'm saying? Just little small things that you need that you grew up. That's not trying to control nobody. It's not trying to control nobody by telling somebody about you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yo, like, why do you watch this shit so much? You know what I'm saying? Or you commenting on that as opposed to being quiet, not saying nothing. So you know what I'm saying? So if you got a woman who watches dumbass housewife, and let me just go in on this real quick, right? Think of this shit, right? On most of these women shows, right? These women disrespect the other women. They be calling them bitches and all this other shit, and they're still friends with them. Okay? Now, a nigga cannot do. Now, you married this man. If he call you out your name, it's a problem. I mean, I'm not saying, all right, no man should be calling a woman out their name. Because if you love somebody, you supposed to be at a point to where, she's supposed to be able to understand you. But and we know that's not the case. We know that's not the fucking case. It doesn't work that way. So therefore, you get people who argue and people who fight and temper flares and things happen sometimes, okay? But for the most part, things is built from understanding. You know what I'm saying? Just like Nelly Fuller said, all questions and all problems are solved through the process of questioning and answering. You know what I'm saying? Can you do this? Or you ask the person, look, can you do this? And then you'll know. If she ain't gonna do it, she's gonna say no. But if you say, yeah, you're gonna do it, then you should be able to, you know what I'm saying, keep up that end of the bargain. You understand what I'm saying? Now, it's little petty stuff. Oh, the guy got the toilet seat up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, okay, some people don't like that. Or it's certain things that people don't like. But I think I just got off the top, but I'm just venting. I'm just talking, y'all. I ain't talking about Aborigine stuff. I'm just talking, the miseducation of the Negro and a lot of things that we deal with. You know what I'm saying? This gonna be part one. I'm gonna make it probably 10 parts more to this or whatever. But this is just pretty much just some freestyling or whatever. We just talking in general. We have a lot of things that we miseducated about, but I can't talk about them all at once. So, so yeah, you got a lot of shit like, and even with, like I said, the music, okay? You got this nigga, Takesha 6ix9ine. I don't know why I keep seeing this shit on my trend and shit. This little clown nigga with fucking rainbow bright, fucking long hair, right? Now he has a video, right? I'm not gonna play it. I'm not even gonna show it to you. But he has a video in which he has all black people, black grandmothers, black mothers, and they all with red flags on, and they cooning and acting like a damn fool, okay? For this motherfucking, I don't know what he is, racial and vigorous motherfucker. But nonetheless, though, like niggas sell out for anything, and this been the biggest problem with us through history. We have no loyalty to our culture or no loyalty to one another. Okay, we will sell out. If it's a white man with that bag, or if it's any other race or person with that bag, I'm not going to think about it. Well, hold up. Who is the person that you asking me to, who is the person you asking me to go up against? Oh, it's another black person? Nah, you can keep that bag. But it's always going to be another coon that's going to come. Oh, I'll take it. Oh, he don't want it? Fuck that nigga. I'll do it. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the problem. And that's the problem we always going to have. Because niggas will sell out for a fucking bag in a minute. You understand what I'm saying? They will sell out for a bag. They don't care. Niggas don't have no morals. They don't care what they got to do to get the bag as long as they can get that bag. Okay? Now, nigga, you beefing with your own people. He ain't beefing with other